Have you ever had one of those moments where something changes in your body and not for the good, and your mind immediately tries to turn it into a life sentence? You feel something different. You can't move the same as you did before. Happens to the best of us, trust me. And it makes you stop and think, wait a minute, now is this going to be my new normal? And before you even have all the answers, your mind is already over there writing the ending like it got hired by the Lifetime Network. Well, not today, because on day 39 of my Elevate Life journey, we are going to talk about what happens when fear tries to tell you that your best years are behind you, and how you can start taking your power back before that thought even really moves in. Um, Rhonda Jean Dillard here, and I have a very serious question for you. What if your best years are not behind you? If you're done settling for less, let's elevate. And I want you to really hear this today, okay? What if your best years are not behind you? Not because everything in your life is perfect, of course not. Who's perfect? Not because your body never has an issue, because at our age we have lots of issues. And not because you suddenly become one of those women who wake up and at 5 a.m. and you're smiling for no reason and journaling in your silky pajamas like you never once threatened to start over again on Monday, right? Now, come on now. So, what if your best years are still ahead of you? Because you are finally learning how to lead yourself differently, right? What if this season is not proof that you are done, but proof that you're waking up? What if the woman that you're becoming is not trying to go back to who she used to be, even that good part of you, but becoming a stronger, wiser, healthier woman, more in control than you've ever been? That is where we are at in this movement. We are not rewinding the clock and pretending that we're 35 again with fewer responsibilities. And actually, I had more responsibilities then, but definitely fewer supplements and knees that didn't sound like bubble wrap, right? Now, we are building forward from right here with what we know now, with the body that we have now and the wisdom that we fought to earn, right? Because let's be honest, sometimes the hardest part is not the healthy habit. Sometimes the hardest part is the meaning that you attach to what's happening. You miss a walk, your mind says, see, you never stick with anything. You feel tired, and your mind says, well, that's just age. Your body feels different, and your mind says, maybe it's too late. That is the moment you have to interpret it, not with the fake positivity, not with pretending nothing is happening, of course, but with your own leadership. You look at that thought and say, hold on, we're not calling this the ending before we even understand the chapter. That's a whole different way to live, right? Now, stick with me because I'm going to be talking about a lot of different things today. I want to convince you, not to convince you, but to make you understand that even at our age, we can be stronger than we ever have been. We can be better than we ever have been. And if you were watching my stories earlier, just a little heads up, I did trim my hair, and this is the final result. I think it looks great now. I don't have all the split ends on the ends anymore, so that cut really does work. Who would have ever imagined that, right? So, if you are watching this and you have been feeling a little scared, like me, a little behind, a little, maybe a little frustrated, or like your body is changing faster than your mind can keep up with. I mean, I didn't take any kind of medication or anything before 2022, mid 2022. Imagine that. That's only 4 years ago, not even 4 years ago yet. And Now I feel like it seems like I'm just falling apart, right? But I'm optimistic and I have faith that I'm going to make it through. We're going to do well. We're going to do well. Okay. So, you do not need a perfect life, of course, to start that elevation, to start elevating. You need to make a decision. You need direction. You need support. That's why I'm here. And you need to stop letting fear act like it has the final vote, right? It doesn't. It doesn't have the final vote. You don't have to be scared. That is what I have been noticing in myself. The more that I pay attention, the more I realize how fast one thought can try to take over the whole room. It is not always loud either. It kind of whispers at you, right? Sometimes it says, what if this does not get any better? And sometimes it says, what if you waited too long? What if this is just how it is now? Hmm. No, ma'am. That may be a thought, but it's definitely not a prophecy. And I need you to catch that because your next chapter cannot be built on every scary sentence that your mind throws out at you when you're tired or you're worried or unsure about something or scared. You can acknowledge what is happening without bowing down to the worst case scenario, right? That's the shift. You're not ignoring reality by any means. You are refusing to let fear become your identity. You are not pretending everything is easy. You're not deciding, you are deciding that even in complicated seasons, you still get to participate in your own transformation. It's yours, and you are in charge of it. I believe that matters so much. After 50, more than ever. It matters when you're trying to get healthier. It matters when you're trying to lose weight. It matters when you're trying to be more consistent. Um, it matters when you're trying to support your body and quiet the noise, the snack noise in there, and stop living like the best you could hope for is it's not going to get any worse, right? Good grief. No wonder why so many people, so many women our age feel tired. That is not a vision. That is a waiting room with bad magazines, okay? You were not created just to manage decline. So help me. You were created to grow and strengthen and heal where you can, adjust where you need to, and build a life that still has excitement in it. That's what your best years are not behind you means. It means that you're not finished. Just because your body needs attention, Lord, mine does, it means you're not disqualified because you have tried before and only made a little progress. That does not count you out. Progress still counts. Awareness still counts. Okay? Only better decision really counts. The next one better decision. And I know sometimes that it doesn't feel exciting. We want the big shift, the big breakthrough, the big glowing moment where the clouds open and the angels sing, and because we chose water instead of sweet tea, right? But most transformation is very quiet. It looks like catching the thought before it spirals. It looks like making the appointment. It looks like choosing the next right meal. And it looks like walking for 10 minutes when you wanted to sit down and negotiate with your excuses or whatever. It looks like using the tools that support you instead of trying to prove you can do everything the hard way. That's not weakness, that's wisdom. And that brings me to what's been going on with me. Because this message is not just something that I pulled out of the motivational junk drawer. Trust me, this one is very personal. And I'm going to share some things with you that are some things that are happening with me that kind of traumatic, actually. A couple of weeks ago, my knees started hurting like crazy, like really crazy. I've always had some discomfort in my knees, and and if I stop taking my collagen too long, or the weather changes or whatever, um, but this was nuts. Okay, after a few days of that, I'm kind of walking along, just in the house, regular walking, not even on a treadmill or anything, and all of a sudden my legs start feeling heavy. I mean, like I was having to drag them. I didn't know if I was going to make it back to my chair. And it was so bad, I really thought that I might fall. Um, this was pretty much out of the blue, and it scared the dickens out of me. If something like this has ever happened to you, please comment and share so that I know I'm not alone. Then I sat down and I was like, okay, I've got to find out what, maybe I can look and see what this is, right? So I sat down and I was typing and trying to find out what the symptoms mean, and my arms started getting heavy as well. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm having a stroke. I start feeling flushed. My neck and my throat got a little tight, and I mean, to be honest with you, I did. I thought I was having a stroke. If it wasn't for my symmetrical face, then I would have really thought about it. Anyway, Mike took me to the ER, and they did every test in the book, a CT of my brain to make sure it wasn't a stroke or some kind of tumor, and X-rays of all my joints, and finally they did an MRI of my lumbar spine, and the conclusion they came up with is that I have osteoarthritis and spinal stenosis. I was already diagnosed with osteoarthritis in my neck, um, back whenever my side was tingling. So it is in my spine and my joints as well. And basically, the spaces in my spine have narrowed over time, and I have some bone spurs because of all this. My nerves are becoming compressed and causing weird tingling and that heaviness in my arms and my legs. It's cutting off the nerve. And I've been instructed to do PT, physical therapy, and then we will discuss if I need surgery in a couple of months. Um, Let me tell you something, not being able to walk will get your attention real quick. And when your body starts feeling different like that, your mind can go places that you did not invite them to go. Trust me. I'm going to be honest with you. I was starting to get worried that this might be permanent until I can have surgery. That was not a fun thought. Nobody wants to walk around feeling like their body is making decisions for them. And I went through a packet of steroids, and at least my knees were feeling better, right? But it really didn't do a whole lot for my gait, maybe a little bit. Um, I mean, several times a day, I would be walking, and I'd have to go sit and get the nerve unpinched so that I could walk again. But this is where I've had to practice exactly what I'm teaching, right? I'm doing the responsible things. I am paying very close attention. I'm following up medically. I'm not pretending that anything in the world replaces doctors or tests or physical therapy or surgery or common sense. Um, Good grief, I am grown. But what we are not doing is, I saw it on the internet and now I'm healed something, right? But I'm also paying attention to support, because one of the tools that I have in my wellness box is called Nueva Beauty. It's a little pill, and I showed it to you yesterday. It's um, it's a pep stack, and I know the name makes you think beauty, makes you think skin and glow and all the pretty outside things. Well, I have those too, right? But yes, we have a little glow. Um, I'm not mad at that. But what has my attention right now is how supported that my body feels while I'm walking through this. Let me preface this to say that all this started quite a long time ago. I mean, and last summer, I started having a strong tingling sensation that seemed to radiate out of my right hip and down my right arm and these fingers, and down my leg and up into the right side of my face, even. And obviously, this was all related, right? But I had no idea at the time. I tried the chiropractor who has saved me before. That's a story for another time. Um, I went to my primary care, and she wouldn't even order an MRI for me. I mean, my cardiologist had to order the MRI. I've already gotten rid of that lady. So, that PCP. I had decided at that time that I was going to try the new Beauty that had just come out last year in August, I believe, for my knees because I heard the BP 157 is really good for tissue and joints, right? And everybody was raving about how it helped them with the discomfort in their joints. And lo and behold, after about 2 weeks, the tingling just stopped. And I'm not saying the Beauty has fixed my spine and therefore my arms and legs or anything like that. I'm not saying it cured anything, and I'm not saying I'm just saying that I'm noticing the change, noticing support, and when you're in a season where your body feels uncertain, support really matters. That's the part that I want you to understand. Um, my gait is better. I'm not afraid of falling any longer. I don't have the heavy legs any longer and or the heavy arms, either one. So, I want you to know is the woman that's doing the work, that's you and me, needs support. Your mindset matters, your habits matter, your medical care matters, your food, your movement, your water, your sleep, your all of that, and your follow through matters. And yes, the right wellness tools can matter too. Not because they could do the work for you, but because they may help support the woman who is already choosing to keep going and making the next right choice, right? That's where I think we miss it sometimes. We think that we have to do everything by force. I mean, we got to push harder, we got to try harder, we got to be tougher, we got to white knuckle it, um, and pretend we're fine all along, right? And then we wonder why we are exhausted and terrified and irritated and inconsistent and one snack away from filing a complaint with the universe, right? Come on now. I mean, maybe the question is not how do I force myself through this? Maybe the better question is what would help me feel supported enough to keep going? Um, that question changes the whole tone of your journey because when you feel supported, you make better decisions. And when your mind is calmer, you can hear wisdom better, even your own wisdom. And when your body feels like it has some backup, you stop moving from panic and start moving from direction. That's what I want for you. That's what I want for me. And I do not want you building your next chapter from fear. I do not want you shrinking your dreams because your body hit a hard session. Um, I don't want you deciding the best part is over because you're walking through something that feels uncertain right now, like me. I want you to build forward. Does that make sense? Today's affirmation goes beautifully with this. I continually build forward with wisdom, support, and steady action. Say it with me. I continually build forward with wisdom, support, and steady action. This is simple enough to remember, but strong enough to interrupt that spiral, right? Wisdom means that you're not ignoring what's happening, honey. Support means that you're not trying to prove something by doing everything the hardest way possible. Steady action means that you're still moving, even if your pace has changed. I'm a little slower, trust me. And hear me on that. A changed pace is not a failed journey, or where would I be, right? Sometimes your pace changes because your life changes. Sometimes your pace changes because you can't freaking walk and your body needs attention. Sometimes your pace changes because God is trying to teach you how to listen before you run yourself into the ground or trying to look productive for him. That does not mean that you quit. It means that you lead yourself with more wisdom. So here's today's tip, and I want you to keep this one practical. Okay, when your mind starts saying, "What if this never changes?" Answer it with one steady action. Do not sit there and argue with fear all day. Fear loves a long meeting, and she never brings snacks worth eating. So take one steady action. Simple. Make a call, drink the water, take the walk you can take, eat the meal that supports you, pray for guidance, listen for the next step. Use the tool that helps support you. Do the one thing that reminds your mind that we're not done here. And that's how you interrupt that fear loop. Okay. Um, Not with a 47-step life renovation plan, not with dramatic declaration that, you will become a brand new woman by Thursday. Just one steady action to prove to yourself that you're still participating in your own life, your own transformation. Remind yourself, okay? Because you need that momentum. That is momentum. And momentum does not always roar, trust me. Sometimes momentum looks like that one quiet decision that nobody claps for, but God saw it, and your body felt it, and your future needs it. And if you're curious about beauty and why I am paying attention to it right now, comment or message me beauty. I'll tell you what this little gem is that I'm using and what I'm noticing and why I believe support really matters when you're doing the work to become healthier, stronger, and better than ever, right? Now, tomorrow on day 40, I can't believe it's already day 40 of my Elevate Life journey, we are going to build on this, I think, because once you stop letting fear write the ending, you start seeing opportunities differently, right? And that's where things really get interesting for us. So follow along, stay close. Don't sit over there quietly deciding that you missed your chance. You have not missed your chance. Did you hear me? You are building forward from here. If you're done settling for less, let's elevate. So, honey, you've got one life. Make it the one that you were meant to live, the one that you've always wanted to live. Y'all have a wonderful day, and I will see you tomorrow. Next time, not tomorrow, Thursday.